Lord Aldrich had a particular smile, the kind that moved his mouth without reaching anything behind it. Over breakfast, he asked how I had slept, and I said fine, and he said I looked pale, and I said I was tired, and he said I should take better care of myself since I would be reflecting on his household soon. And the whole time, underneath the conversation, underneath the table, I had my hand pressed flat against my ribs, feeling for a warmth that was not mine. The dining hall smelled of candle wax and cold stone and the particular performance Aldrich made of every meal. He ate precisely. He spoke precisely. He asked questions the way a physician checks a pulse, looking for information, not connection. "You seem distracted," he said. "I didn't sleep well. You should take more care of yourself. You'll be managing a household soon. That requires clarity." I looked at him across the table, at the thin, precise line of his mouth, at the gray eyes that had never once looked at me and seen a person rather than an arrangement. The warmth in my chest pulled north. I pressed my hand harder against my ribs and smiled at him the way I had learned to smile over 2 years of careful surviving. "Of course," I said. I went to the main palace library after breakfast. Not for work, for the sight bond. I needed to understand what was happening to me before it went any further. The relevant texts were in the eastern alcove, behind the administrative law volumes, in a section that received very little traffic. I found 3 books. I took the oldest to a back corner table and opened it carefully. A human who witnesses the alpha in a state of unperformed vulnerability, not performance of weakness, but genuine, unguarded, unconscious exposure of the inner self, is understood by shifter law to have received something of the alpha's true nature. This exchange, unintentional on both sides, creates a resonance between the 2 individuals that, once begun, cannot be reversed. I read it 3 times. Outside the window, the warmth in my chest sat steady and patient, pointing north. The bond cannot be severed once the warmth has been felt. I sat with that sentence for a very long time. The guard came at midday. I was not surprised. The walk through the upper corridors felt different now. I knew more than I had 2 days ago. What was happening between me and the Alpha King of Valethorn was not imagination and was not going to stop. The door to his study was open when we arrived. The guard stopped outside. I walked in alone. He was not behind his desk. He was not at the window. He was standing in the center of the room, which he hadn't done before, and he was looking at me with an expression I had not seen yet. Not the controlled assessment of the first night, not the careful questioning of the morning after. Something quieter and more deliberate. "You went to the library," he said, not a question. I needed to understand what was happening to me. "And now you understand." "Some of it," I said carefully. He nodded slowly. He took 3 steps toward me, not closing the distance entirely, leaving the room between us but less of it. "Ask me," he said. "Can it actually not be reversed?" "No," he said, without hesitation, without apology. "Not once the warmth has begun." "And you felt it too." Something moved across his face, brief and controlled and more honest than anything I had seen from him yet. "The bond resonates in both directions," he said, "less immediately for the alpha, but yes." He was still moving, almost imperceptibly, still reducing the room between us. He was close enough now that I had to tilt my chin up slightly to hold his gaze, which I was doing because looking away felt like losing something. "Do you feel it?" he asked, right now in this room." I felt it. "Yes," I said. Something in his expression shifted. "Then we have a problem," he said quietly, "and I'm starting to think I don't want to solve it." I left his study the same way I arrived, composed, measured, 1 foot and then the other through corridors that felt different than they had an hour ago. In the lower palace, I turned a corner and walked directly into Lord Aldrich, who looked at my face for a long moment before he said anything. Then, "You look different." Not a question, an observation. The kind he made when he was filing something away. "I'll come to your room this evening," he said quietly. "We have things to discuss." He walked on. I stood in the corridor and felt the warmth in my chest pulling steadily north, and I thought, he knows. He doesn't know what he knows yet, but he knows something has changed.